In order to log into the doctor's panel, you need to click on this link in any browser. Then you'll need to log in, enter your phone number linked to the account, and press continue. You'll receive an SMS message with a code, which you need to conduct and confirm your entry. So we are confirming. And here on the right side, you'll find information associated with your doctor's profile, which you provided when you sign up for our application. Next, there is Exit button. By clicking on this button, you'll be thrown out of the doctor's panel and will have to re-enter the phone number and confirm the SMS message. On the left side, there is information about the doctor's rating. After each consultation, the user has to rate the conversation, the doctor, or write a review. Minimum is 1 point and the maximum is 5. In this section, you can monitor the data on reviews. Then, this is also possible here to choose the channel of communication. After we start the working day, now we haven't started it yet, you can turn off any communication channels that you don't want to work with or with which it's impossible to work right now. We'll start our working day and I'll talk a little bit later about the communication channels. And then the button board button, we have here the diagnosis, tests, drugs. This information is from our database, our Wikipedia for doctors. These diagnoses are handled by our specialists. You can search by keyword to find desired diagnosis. The diagnosis is followed by a list of recommended tests that we can correct, ICPC code, and the name of the diagnosis itself. Further information on analysis you can find by keyword search. Here you can find the analysis you need and see the code and the same information for pills. Next, we have the doctor's panel settings. Here you can customize the sound. Each request goes with its own sound and you can adjust the volume of the request and the melody. The language of the display of the doctor. We have the doctor panel and application translated into 11 languages. If you don't feel comfortable working in Russian, you can change to another language. I'll demonstrate how to work directly in the chat room. It will be turned on when you need to start the working day. Press the Start of the Day button and go through the headset test. If your microphone doesn't work, you won't be able to work on the audio channel, and if your video doesn't work, relatably on the video channel. So we start recording, stop recording, play it back. Now you can hear yourself. So I indicate that yes, I can hear myself. If you can't hear yourself, say no. Then we go through to camera check. You can see yourself and all communication channels are unavailable. During the working day, if necessary, you can adjust the data of the channel to disable, for example, video. You now can only work on audio and the transcript of analysis. If you turn off this channel, you won't appear in the app online. You will only appear on the audio channel and on the transcript. Now, turn on the chat. During the workday, you can make breaks. You'll need to switch off from online and go offline. You press Stop Taking Requests. The modifier from the network switched the network. That means that now you're offline and user can't see you in the application and won't connect to the consultation. If you want to switch back on, when you're out of your break, switch back online. You are online and you're visible in the app. Users will be able to connect to you for the consultation. Every new request will be displayed on the left side in the Geo panel. It is accompanied by a sound and flashing. The doctor can receive up to 10 chat consultations at one time. You can also adjust this number for yourself personally. We're clicking on Stop Receiving Requests and your new messages will no longer be received. Application from patient cannot be rejected. If you receive it, you should accept it. You cannot reject, postpone to a later date after you click on the request. You're immediately presented in the patient's panel and the chat itself. I sent message from the patient side, and that's how they're going to appear on the doctor's side. You can also type text and press enter and upload pictures. The button in the middle is our auto message. This is the value we use on a regular basis. We can edit them if we want to add or remove them. Information on the greetings, that is all necessary phrases, clarifying questions, and the standard advertising phrases. So you choose the phrase you want to send and press the send button. You can change the language. For example, you can change the display language of the phrases to Ukrainian if you have a request in Ukrainian, etc. Then here is information on automatic translation. Here, if you go to the right in the settings, you can see the information set earlier in the panel settings. How it works. We have the incoming message in English, and the outgoing one is also in English. Underneath each message has a translation icon. So we click on the icon and it translates the phrase. For outgoing messages, you choose the desired text and press the translation icon. A user file, you simply click, save it, and it downloads to your computer and you open it. About the chat. Right now, our consultation lasts 30 minutes. Users have the ability to extend this time, but a new fee applies for this. 2 minutes before the end of the consultation, patient will receive a notification that the conversation is about to end. He can choose whether he wants to extend the consultation or he refuses the offer. When fee is paid, the data will extend automatically. After 30 minutes, the user will receive a notification that the patient has left the chat, and the user is prompted to evaluate the consultation. So, I go into the chat room, and this is how it's going to be. The patient has left the chat room, and we move on the outpatient chart to fill out the chart. Here we have the user information. Here we have the anonymous patient, gender, date of birth, age, country, and city. This information is not obligatory. By clicking on the name of the patient or anonymous patient's history will pull up for you. The patient's medical history, the history of all of his visits, you can look all of this here. When was the last time the user went to which doctor, with what symptoms, with what diagnosis, and so on. This information will be pulled up now. So, we choose a diagnosis we want to see. For example, here we can see the diagnosis from the 23rd of February. We click on the diagnosis and we unfold the diagnosis, and here it said the patient has been treated with these symptoms. The patient was given a preliminary report for an orbivirus, and there were these tests ordered. The time we have allergies and chronic diseases. This information patient can enter by himself in the medical record, or the doctor can do it during the consultation. In order to enter information, we have an input field, the special characteristic of patient with allergies and chronic diseases. We enter the allergen. You need to search for the according keyword. For example, what? The allergen can be used to find the desired diagnosis or chronic bronchitis. If you click on the allergen, or the diagnosis can be deleted. This information will be saved in all future consultation and will appear in the patient's medical record. We have a section for the current conversation. You can see here with what symptom the patient has come to you, and there may also be some additional comments as well. When connecting to the consultation, you should pay attention to the current conversation section. Here you will be informed about the symptoms, and you can already understand what question you can ask. The way the program works is that the patient enters the symptoms by himself, and the doctor can add some symptoms as well. For example, let's add temperature. You see, we have a list of diagnoses right away. It changes, so for every symptom. We've got diagnoses attached to it, and you can adjust them, you can choose from the list that the program offers, and you can see the percentage of the most likely, and if it goes down to the bottom, you'll see the less probable one. So under each symptom, we have different diagnoses attached to it. If, for example, if we remove the cough, then we have the list of diagnoses changed immediately. Next thing you need to do is to confirm the diagnosis. To confirm the diagnosis, you need to choose from the list if any of the diagnosis is not in the list below. There are fields where we can enter a diagnosis. So, we'll enter a diagnosis and it will be displayed at the very bottom, the newest added diagnosis. We're now confirming the diagnosis and we click on the green check mark. So now the diagnosis is attached and the test data is also attached. You can correct it, you can delete them, or you can add your own analysis by keyword search. You also can write comments to each analysis. You can find desired drugs here by keyword search. So by name, you can find the desired pills and also the drug information form of release, tablet, dosage should be taken once a day or on a regular basis. We choose, for example, daily, morning and evening here, and we do the number of 5 days, for example. The connection with the food. Before the meal, we choose 15 minutes. So you can also enter a comment to specify some experience or which information to consider when taking the medication. If another one is needed, means some medication you find necessary, you can also fill out the information for the drug. We have a general comment section, appeal, and here you can specify any examination that are necessary. Or you can also indicate the next time when you are online so that the patient can connect to the consultation. When the information is filled in, when the patient has already left the chat room, we can complete the consultation, and this information will now be displayed in the application at the patient's medical record and also in the chat. You can also save it and it will be displayed in the patient's in the medical record. So we complete the appointment. Are you sure you want to complete the chat? Yeah, now confirm the data. This request has already been sent to the patient and is displayed to the user in the mobile app. And the last part, we go to the transcript service. Here the user can attach a file on examination or some test results. The file will be displayed here in the section of the file for transcription. You can open it here on the side and you can also zoom in or zoom out. Here the only obligatory section is general comment. You should specify the results of the transcript, the interpretation of the study, indicate what may be done or why some indicators are increased or decreased. So the user can also indicate here some additional information and some comments to the transcript. There are no necessary fields on the diagnosis and prescription part. The fields are obligatory are only here. Just a general comment for the reason you type the text and press send. The result of the transcript are here in the appendix. If you are not planning to work anymore today, then you will need to close the working day. You'll need to stop receiving new requests and press end of working day. Then you press exit, and the next working day you'll need to re-enter your phone number and log into your account again.